Hello, welcome to the CiviWiki weekly stand-up, April 9th, 2018. I'm Paul Scheid. We just go around and say our names.
I'm Briley Christopher Oxley.
Goku, can you try that again?
Sure. My name is Gordon Stangler.
Great. So yeah, I think the best thing is just to go around and talk about first the effort that was worked on this past week, and then we could work on assigning tasks and discuss any outstanding issues. Um, so, Gordon, I think you're the only developer who is actively working on the project, or that's currently at the meeting. So, would you mind giving us an overview of what you've been working on?
Sure. The main thing I've been focusing on is the docs into all the classes, documents, functions, all that fun stuff. I'm adding the Python to it because currently everything's written in Python 2. Eventually, we're going to move up. And I do apologize about the infant in the background.
It's cool.
Eventually, because I find them, things that are incompatible with Python 3, I'll either comment with the correct function or syntax, and then just comment it out. As of right now, I've been working on. I know I have a stretch list of. Oh yeah, here's 10,000. Those are taking a little longer than I expected.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so I guess go ahead, Briley.
I just said, I was thinking since you're working on that update using Python 3, we actually have a task for that, number 18. I'm not sure if that's the task you're wanting to be assigned or if you're just doing
the only reason the self is I don't feel like I'm a very good Python. And I know there's a couple people here who just they blow me out of the water, and I things that I miss. So I'm leaving that task unassigned, even though I am working on it. I am fairly confident someone else who's far will also come by and take a look.
All right, well, I have just already assigned you to it and put in the progress column. You can unassign yourself, but if you're working on it, it's worth assignment. And then that lets us kind of come in and check on your status and help you out. If you don't feel confident to complete it, that's cool too. It's no problem, but just go ahead and work in a branch and open a pull request with the branch that you're working on and link it to that issue number 18, and that way we can get this task done. Since you've already started it, we'll work as a team. Are you familiar with how to make a pull request, how to create a branch and pull request and everything?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
cool.
I am in GitHub.
Yeah, and so as soon as you open that pull request, I'll see it, and then I can come in and we can discuss any questions that come up, and I can point to style guides and things like that. I think a lot of the changes that you'll encounter between Python 2 and 3 are going to be pretty manageable. I'm not sure specifically of any thing that would give us a lot of trouble, but I think it's just more like maintenance and housekeeping.
Yeah. A lot of it's like similar function names. The function takes two arguments. Takes 3, that kind of stuff. So
Exactly.
It's the little minor, small pedantic things. So.
Yeah, and are you using the utility 2 to 3? Because it'll scan
I'm sorry,
through.
could you
Are you using the 2 to 3 utility? Okay, well, go ahead and open that pull request, and I'll add a comment to some things that might be useful, and maybe we can get this done in the next couple of weeks.
Okay, I'll go ahead and do that after the meeting.
Cool, thanks. All right, Paul, what were you going to say?
I was gonna comment on something similar, but then I guess another thing is, Goku, you just mentioned some other stories that you're working on. Could you point out which ones those are on the waffle board, or just what the names are?
Waffle board here.
It looks like issue 99, Sunlight API deprecated, and issue 148.
The Sunlight, the ProPublica. I really didn't get a whole lot of work done on that the last. One of the big things is ProPublica has its own package that you can to dependencies, and I was looking to see if we can avoid not. They're also getting ready to transition to the version API, so version 1 will pretty soon become and why is this telling me my camera's on? It shouldn't be on. But anyway, as of so just kind of waiting for the moment to see more information on the version 2 of their API. What changes are implemented, what changes we're going to have to make on, and things of that nature. So I'm just kind of I guess blocked waiting on them.
Okay, let's go ahead and since you're blocked, let's put that in the ready column. We'll deprioritize it and focus your efforts on that update to Python 3. What about this issue 148 create CSV export? I see 2 assignees here.
Yeah, one of those is me.
Oh, there you are, Delta Plus. Okay, cool.
Yeah, sorry, my audio was off for a second. I don't really know what's going on.
Okay, cool. Is this
I'm also going to go ahead and move error number 161, so 161 over to the progress, because I still haven't figured out. Still giving us, well, it's something I fixed, but for some reason I pushed it and it wants than just the changes. So I'm gonna just throw that in another push. And
okay, make sure that you're working on separate branches for anything that you're doing. Then open a pull request after your first commit so that we see the work in progress and we can comment and help out with any questions. Let's talk about 148. Export CSV, Civi data.
Yeah, so that one is almost complete. I just need to do a few edits on that one. I should be able to get those done today sometime.
All right. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Just had a little bit of a question about where to get the kind of the template data contexts, or the I guess the view model.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have more troubles with that, I can kind of, I'm available tomorrow Eastern European time.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Paul, do you have anything else? I think those are the main development tasks.
Yeah, I agree on that. So, Gordon, it sounds like you have enough work with this for this next week with the Python upgrade task. Joe, do you have like your eye on another issue after the CSV export?
Yeah, I'm also working on automated code quality testing. So I have a tool that I'm writing up right now that's almost done also. So every pull request that comes in, it gets all the files out of it, and finds the extension on it, like Python or JS or whatever, and it will do the correct code linting for that and save the results to a file somewhere.
What issue is that?
That's going to be in the prioritized backlog. There's a couple of issues. I assigned myself to 2 of them. I'm not really sure on the numbers, but I was figuring I just like combine them together, you know, in one pull request, basically.
Yeah, move them into the ready column because that prioritized backlog is pretty big. But I found
Right.
I just did move them in there. One thing I'd like to try to do is use existing tools and platforms. Did you do any due diligence here on, or what tools did you find for that auto linting and auditing source code metrics?
So I'm using Code Climate as was suggested in the prioritized backlog issue. And Code Climate also has a plugin for ESLint, which is a JavaScript thing. So basically it has pretty much everything all in one package. It's like a Docker app, basically.
Cool. What ESLint rules are you adopting? I don't think we have an ESLint definition.
Yeah. So I'm using the Airbnb rules, which are like open sourced or something on NPM.
Cool. Yeah, we might. Yeah, those are pretty well designed. We might override some specifics, but I would be careful to just set that linting up and not include, a full project lint. In other words, don't take the responsibility to get all the code in good shape, just as long as we have the infrastructure in place and we can start tackling that incrementally.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
Just a quick question here on Python linting. Would you prefer Sonar as the linting framework or Flake 8?
Flake 8, I think, is what I'm more familiar with. I don't remember. I think we had that discussion before.
Yeah, sounds good. That's the one I was going to use anyway.
Yeah. All right, sounds good. Okay, cool. So those sound good. We'll have some good code quality. So are those actually in progress then? Sounds like?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah, pretty much. One of the main things I'm trying to figure out is where you would want the results to go. I could just save them in some sort of log directory, or I could like email them out, pretty much whatever.
Basically, we don't have to manage those results. What, in my experience, is happening increasingly is that your continuous integration kind of platform will be integrated with GitHub. So if you're using Code Climate, it'll actually lint a pull request in progress. Every commit gets linted and will throw errors. In fact, you can reject the pull request if the lint is not passing. So I would recommend that we go that way.
Yeah, okay, I'll look into that.
Yeah, just look up something like Code Climate, GitHub integration. We can set that up on the repository.
Yeah, okay, nice.
All right, so just as a reminder, whenever you guys start doing something, either for, the things you've taken so far have been issues that we've already created, so that's good. But if an issue doesn't exist, go ahead and create one, move it into the appropriate column. Ready column means it's like the next step on the horizon, but something else is on your plate right now. In progress is as soon as you start working on anything, move it in progress, open a pull request like as soon as possible, even when it's really rough, even when you've only done like a couple of things or even just one commit. That way it stays linked. Yeah, so otherwise, getting things done has been no problem. It's just the backlog and prioritized backlog are it's kind of hard to find things. They're kind of large. And if if you need to put something back in ready or back in the prioritized backlog, that's okay too. Just unassign yourself if it goes to the prioritized backlog, and let us know during the stand-up.
Okay, I think we've gone over everything, and everyone has a good idea as to what chunks of work they'll be spending their time on this week. Does anybody have any questions or anything else to bring up to discuss?
I'm just wondering if we're working on that REST API, converting some of those endpoints over, particularly as it relates to porting over to ProPublica, I guess. That should be done via a REST API on our end, like within the API endpoint communicating with the ProPublica and OpenStates APIs, and then kind of proxying that. So in essence, we're going to be using this Django REST framework. So if you're planning to continue, contributing to the project, it'd be really good to start getting some experience in the moving parts that are involved there. Just building a small project. Because the cool thing about Django REST framework is then we can start decoupling. Well, the UI is already decoupled, and we've talked a little bit in the past about maybe porting away from Backbone to a sort of a more modern, like component-based framework. So the foundation for that is going to be having a good REST API and being proficient in Django REST framework.
Yeah, I can try to get a update. I believe Juhi already pushed changes to the REST API, but I can try to get a more recent update onto if she's still working on that or things like that.
Yeah, great. That's cool. Because I remember the last conversation we had was around user data and how to kind of protect that, particularly first name, last name type of data. But these OpenStates and ProPublica APIs are still under work. In the REST API endpoints for threads, I think that was the one that went a little bit beyond threads into the user profile. Okay, so yeah, issue 164. I'm comfortable merging the pull request. We've had a discussion about it. I just wanted to know if there's any more work needing to be done there.
So sorry, pull request 164?
Yeah, it's related to issue 24. Yeah.
It looks like the changes that you requested haven't been
Oh, okay.
satisfied yet.
Okay, my bad. I thought those were. Oh, yeah. So they're kind of minor changes, cleanup, and the account serializer was the main point of discussion. Yeah, okay, so if you could follow up with Juhi there. I think otherwise the code looks good, aside from those minor cleanup and the bigger question about how to protect people's, private or person identifying information.
Okay, yeah, I think I agree with that. All right, does anybody have anything else they'd like to discuss? Alrighty, well then I'll see you guys all next week.
Okay, see you next.
Have a great week.
Bye,
Yeah,
everyone.
see you later.